Good morning, all, and welcome again to a Working Class Australia live number 33. And I'd like to also acknowledge the land of the Jaja Wurrung, of the elders past, present, and future, and recognise that their struggle is part of the broader class struggle, united against a common foe, that is the capitalist class. Black and white unite the fight. I want to just talk a little bit about superannuation increase. It's not a topic I generally discuss on these live video shows I've been conducting over the last year. But as from the middle of the year, apparently our superannuation contributions will be increasing by 0.5%. So employers will in fact add an extra 0.5% on top of the 9.5% contribution on your ordinary earnings, which is based on the 38-hour week. Which is a good thing within itself. It's supposed to go up 0.5, I think, over the next 3 years, or half a percentage every year for the next 3 years. I want to believe it goes up to 12%. But what's happening here as well, a lot of employers are pushing back. A lot of the capitalist class are pushing back, saying if there's an increase in super, then you forego most of your pay rise as well. Now, cost of living is going up, so basically your basic consumables such as food, utilities, petrol, registration, and obviously those paying off a house are finding it increasing hard, and obviously other expenses as well, which carries on in the cost of living. What a lot of employers are doing, I won't name names at the moment because they're negotiations with many across the board, but what they're saying is, if you want a 2.5% increase, say, for example, per annum for 3 years, well, they're saying we'll give you 2% because 0.5 of that, because that extra 0.5 is going on to your superannuation. So in fact, what they're actually saying is that you must pay for the increase in the super, not the capitalist class themselves. They're doing it's quite common right across this country. It's not just confined to 2 or 3 companies, but it's happening everywhere. Why they're doing it? It's because, once again, they're trying to protect their super profits. Last year alone, a lot of corporations here made a lot of profit, more profit out of the whole situation. Even though we had COVID-19, we had lockdowns, a lot of people working from home. Some people did lose their job, even the government assistance with JobKeeper, and even those on Job Seeker. The fact is, at the end of the day, they made mega profits last year. But what they said to the government, they know full well the system's in crisis. We want to protect our super profits, increase it. Any extra, well, the working class pays for that. So once again, this deliberately shows that workers like yourselves, they're forcing that cost back on, the burden of the cost back onto you. And this is just complete robbery. It also shows you how the brute force of what capitalism is like, where all their basically interest is profit reigns supreme, and it must increase. Sure, the increase in super has, once again, there's some benefit to it, and for those who are looking more into a retirement over the course of the next 10 years, it certainly be beneficial. Or for those who are trying to catch up to have some sort of comfortable retirement, but it certainly is beneficial. But the capitalist class, once again, is saying that you pay for it, not them. Even though they're making huge profits these days, and they even say that they're not in crisis themselves, but it's the whole system that's in crisis. Actually, I'll repeat that. No, the system is in crisis, and I'll retract that. Well, basically, what it is, it actually shows you that what's happening here is that the capitalist system is collapsing. It is actually going downhill. They just cannot actually anymore allow even like a few million just to go back out and to help workers. No, that's got to be kept into keeping super profits. And those super profits are becoming fewer and fewer in between as we're seeing further monopolisation. And obviously, it's going to come to such a crunch time that workers can no longer afford anything anymore because so much is being produced, but they've got no way whatsoever to buy back what's being produced. And put it this way, anything for 1% pay increases, in fact, per annum, say for 3 years, is in fact a default pay decrease or pay cut. 2% per annum for 3 years, well, basically you're looking just above poverty line. So what we call a disposable income in there is pretty much being reduced down to a very bare minimum. So if you want to enjoy a few luxuries of life, you won't be able to afford to do so because you're just trying to make ends meet while the cost of living is continually rising. I'm going to leave it short today. I'm sorry, a little bit ad hoc with this video this morning. I'm going to be doing. I still will be doing a lot more of these things. I have missed it last week. I was just generally quite busy throughout the week, but I just want to just emphasise on that little particular issue it's been at the back of my mind for some time. Been having some think about. I think the best thing we can do is making sure you're well organised in the workforce at your workplace in your respective union. So if you're not in union, join up. Help that respective union to organise the workplace, because even though it's a bare wages and conditions issue, it still in the long term becomes it comes to a higher level and to a social issue as well. And that actually is good training for the working class, is well organised, be it respective unions or in other ways that they are able then to take, even just resist the bare attacks from the worst excesses of capitalism. So I mean, quite frankly, it's vitally important that we do that. For those who are out there who are Marxists and communists alike, fact is that is a primary concern, and we do need to be organised as well and help those unions to make the working class stronger in this country. So I'm just going to leave it at that for the moment. And I do sorry a little bit over the place today with that, and just also a reminder to. There won't be a working class revolt with myself and Dust James tomorrow. Dust is co-hosting, I think he's hosting the Centre of Political Innovation, which will be on, I'm led to believe it's either 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then the following week, I will be away. So Dust and will be heading that show from then on. So I won't be around for the following one. So please go to his channel, subscribe to it, out of mine, subscribe to it, share it far and wide. I also recommend Caleb Morpin, and especially for latest information, the Centre of Political Innovation, go to Caleb Morpin's page and subscribe to that. Once again, thank you, and I'll end it off here. Dare to struggle, dare to win. If you don't fight, you lose. Thank you.